Namaskar, I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to our live and interactive session. You're watching us on PM eVIDYA channels from 6 to 12 and also on our YouTube channel NCERT Official. Well, we are here bringing you a series on digital initiatives, and today we will be talking about MOOCs on SWAYAM for school education. Well, we all know that online course is a virtual learning experience that allows students to learn through internet using ICT, of course. And these days, these courses or online education has become need of the hour for various reasons. Well, first of all, they're cost effective. They help you be technically strong. You can have self-paced learning, and also, they offer more flexibility. So these courses offer a wide range of topics, and also they offer you wide range of benefits as well. But there are more layers to it that we will be discussing in today's session. This session is going to be live and interactive. Yes, this is presented by NCERT, and you can always reach out to us with your questions, suggestions, feedback, anything that you would like to share or ask regarding the topic today. So please take down our phone number, which is 8800440559. You can also write an email to us on training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. Since you're watching us live on our YouTube channel NCERT Official, you can always go to the comment section or live chat box, put in your questions there, your suggestions, any experience that you might be sharing with us. We are always entertaining all these thoughts and suggestions, because let's improve and let's offer you something even more better, something even that's best. So now today, digital initiative MOOCs and SWAYAM for school education. It's a wonderful topic. I'm sure you would be more than interested to learn more about these courses and how they're implemented, about policy perspectives and everything about it. So to have a discussion on everything related to today's topic, we are joined by our expert. We have with us Dr. Angel Ratnabai. Ma'am, namaskar and welcome to the session.
Namaskar.
Let me apprise you all that ma'am is assistant professor from CIET NCERT New Delhi. And ma'am, before I go to the question and answer round and I ask you a few questions, let me talk about the brief overview of what exactly we are going to learn today. Kindly share the same with our viewers.
Yeah, by watching this live session, everyone who is watching here would try to understand what is the policy perspective with respect to online courses and digital education very specifically, and also we will be trying to understand why do we need this online courses at school level, and what really online course means and what is it containing in the context of school education. And if you would like to join, how do you join, what is the benefits you are going to get out of it. So these are the brief things which we'll be discussing today.
Right, ma'am. And you know what, because today everybody is talking about National Education Policy 2020. We have to implement its objectives and design programs accordingly. So if we talk about policy perspectives of the online courses as per this Education Policy 2020, so what exactly they are?
Okay. So we are all aware that we are now implementing National Education Policy 2020, and we need to understand what is the policy perspective to this online education, digital education, and also very specifically to online courses. If we see the National Education Policy, it focuses also on the online education, whereas you must have seen that there are two dedicated chapters in the national policy which is talking about digital education, and also it gives equal importance to understand that today the education is not only within the four walls. So that is first thing that it really appreciates. And if we see that it also emphasizes in the chapters of the national education policy, we can read that the policy also emphasizes the use of the platforms like Diksha and SWAYAM for the online courses, and also to promote online education through these portals. Already these portals are there in existence, but it is very specifically guiding us like that we can use these portals leveraging technologies which is available to use it for online education and very specifically to online courses. And it also talks about like we need to transform the education system. like there is a change in the structure of the course. As many of us are aware of, the new education policy has given a complete change in the structure of the education system itself. And it doesn't stop with that. It talks about like it's not just changing the structure will bring some change in education. It is all 360-degree, it has to bring change. Then only the real change will come. So it talks about very clearly that the curriculum has to be changed. When it says the curriculum, what subjects has to be taught, what content has to be taught, the way it has to be taught, everything has to change. So that it talks about more of a children-centric, where it is not just the curriculum should not be more focused on only developing cognitive, but it also should take care of the psychomotor and also the psychosocial element of children's growth. So that is where it is promoting the curriculum change. When the curriculum change is coming in, it doesn't stop there, it also demands for a pedagogical change. So today I cannot still keep saying that I will be a teacher and I'll be teaching inside the classroom and I am the only person who is knowledgeable, who can share the knowledge. Because as per the national education policy, it talks about a pedagogical change also. Change in the pedagogy as well, and to bring out innovative methods of teaching. Today students are themselves an explorer. So every child wants to explore themselves and they don't want it to listen to others. More than are listening to others, they want to learn by themselves. So what they do, like you can see even young children, like no, if you tell some story, they're not ready to listen. They better wanted to watch a cartoon. So when that is a scenario we are facing with our children, national education policy recognizes that and emphasizes that like let's use all the innovative practices where you can give exposure to students even at home and then bring in some discussion points, use the time in the classroom for more of critical discussions so that the critical thinking is enabled, so that there you can also use your home as a space for involving them for creative learning. So it is not that like education is just within the four walls or learning within the four walls of the school. It is in the community, it is with like in the home, it is in every environment the child encounters. So the pedagogy also has been recommended for going through a change. That is where there is lot of emphasis on to bring out different innovative pedagogies and the recent pedagogies that's coming out of the trends which is happening in the environment. So that is also one of the recommendations of NEP that supports this particular online course. The other point, it also talks about like this Diksha and SWAYAM kind of portals. Whatever technology portal comes up, it should not be just for the sake of technology.
Right.
The portal should be used for encouraging and integrating teaching learning practice itself. So when we say the technology has to integrate teaching learning learning into the portal, there is more scope of having online classes, and there is more scope of having online courses in that itself. And also if we keep talking about, like, it also recognizes that there are gaps. The NEP is like talking about there are gaps. When 1986 there was a policy, it talked more about like that policy was to bring access to everyone, like no to like it is more to promote the enrollment. And we have in the past years we have reached the enrollment, but now the national education policy is more focusing on the improving the quality of education. When we see the quality of education, there are gaps that has to be recognized, that we are having gaps and we need to find out ways to fill that gaps. So there are gaps like language barriers is one of the gap, creates a gap. Language itself creates a gap because in our country we have such a lot of variety of languages, and there are languages which even don't have its own scripts. So in such a scenario, like a learning resource being given in one language itself is becoming difficult for reaching to everyone. So there are barriers that creates the gap in the learning system. So it's very important to identify that, and if technology solutions could resolve that, that would be a greater thing for that. So in that way also online education, online courses come as a rescue to fill certain gaps that is existing. So these are the things that policy emphasizes about online education and very specifically online courses.
Absolutely, ma'am. You very rightly said, because when we talk about National Education Policy 2020, we're talking about reaching the last mile learner. We're talking about making education accessible to all, especially making education reach their doorstep. And we're talking about equity in education, inclusivity also, that cannot be done without the help of ICT. And of course, but whenever we implement any policy, we want to make sure that it reaches the grassroots level. Because if it is not serving that purpose, then the entire, process of forming those policies and implementing them is a failure. So how these policies are implemented effectively, that's my question. And also, what about those initiatives which have been taken by National Education Policy 2020 or different institutes that are involved here to make this implementation worthwhile?
So when we are going to talk about, we are only talking very particularly about one point about how this online education aspects that is spoken is being transformed into initiatives and what kind of initiative has been taken. Because policy has several recommendations,
Yes.
so we'll just focus on one of the things.
Sure.
So when we see here, like all of us are aware that like there is benefit of online courses.
Yes.
So before we just understand what what initiative has been taken up, we should understand that is there any benefit of this online course so that the policy can be converted into an initiative.
Right.
So when we go through this, we understand that the very first thing, the benefit of online course is flexibility, which is also mentioned in the policy, that the education which we are providing to the children has to have flexibility.
Right.
So online courses provide that same flexibility as it is mentioned in the policy, that the children wherever they are, they can have flexibility of time to learn. Like for example, I am very occupied in the school till morning 9 to 3 o'clock as a teacher, but now I wanted to learn something additional. So after 3 o'clock, whenever I am free, I can learn. Even children, like they may be attending school from 9 to 3 as per the school schedule.
Yes.
But if the children would like to learn from another expert whom I wanted to learn and have a kind of a revision, so the child can come back after the school and learn at their own time, or even if some children learn late night.
Yes.
Usually we see some children only start studying after
The
10
late night
o'clock.
birds.
Some children, they are very early birds, like morning they get up early
right.
and study. So the material is available in online in the course, which gives them flexibility to learn on their own time whenever they wanted to learn. The second thing is also like it's very convenient. When we say like it's not about the convenience of like there a convenience doesn't just restrict with your time alone. See, sometimes like I wanted to just be very relaxed lying down and study. In the classroom we don't allow them to usually like lie down. If you wanted to lie down, you lie down and study. Sometimes children loves to walk faster and study. So children are sometimes restricted in their own convenient way of studying inside the classroom due to certain classroom decorum.
That's right.
But during the online sessions, like online classes, like online course, so there is a little bit difference which we need to understand. There are online classes, online course.
That's right.
All the online course you don't need to be available in face like live. So when there is a live class, that's a different thing. But there are times that you can read your material, you can watch the videos which is there in the convenient way you can, and convenient mode you wanted to do. And there is also convenience of multiple types of resource availability, which I prefer. I can go and take and read it out. The third benefit is the affordability in itself. Today online courses have become so affordable that you don't need to, there are lots of free online courses as well. So you don't need to spend money.
Yes.
And sometimes when you wanted to learn from an expert, you need to go for extra classes, you have to pay and join somewhere. You are investing some kind of a financial resource into it. The second thing, even the time investment, and you are also sometimes it is like you have to travel to that place physically to do it. But online courses has brought that kind of an affordability, which is again mentioned in the policy very clearly,
Yes.
that the education should be affordable to every child. And we can provide variety of content in an online course. Like when I take class, teach in a classroom, as a teacher I can use only one mode of talking. Maybe I may explain, or I may do a presentation, I may show, just it's at one time. But if it is in an online course, you can give variety, same content in variety of forms, and enable children whichever is suitable for you, you go through that. So that's a kind of flexibility we have in respect to the content variety also. And the last thing is, like, it's more of a personalized
Yes.
education. It really helps them to understand that if I'm not able to understand a particular reading text, I can go 10 times and read it on my own till I go ahead. Right. Similarly, sometimes, like when I feel like I have got, there is a possibility, like we are talking about personalized adaptive learning
Yes.
today, that's more coming up in the online course, which is also mentioned in the NEP, talking about when a child is not able to perform something, let us test them, like if they are not lacking on some previous knowledge, let them first learn that there is a specific content given to a specific child depending on their specific need.
Yes.
So that is also possible with the intervention of technology in the name of online courses. So having known all these benefits, we also need to understand that what kind of initiatives has been taken.
That's right.
So the first initiative which is very strongly emphasized is SWAYAM. SWAYAM is Study Webs of Active Learning for Young Aspiring Minds. And this particular initiative is initiated with the higher education department initially for higher education children to learn. But it is not just stopped with higher education, this has been extended to the school education as well. So if you just think about what is SWAYAM, why it is for, why it was started, it is basically a portal in itself. It's a web portal and a mobile app which has interactive, it is basically a content hosting platform as well as a learning management system, which can enable you to have variety of content, and also it provides you an option for you to learn in a proper structured way, the way the classroom is managed. And it also provides, this particular platform is prepared with the materials to be given such that the high quality learning experience can be given to the children who are learning through this platform.
Right.
It is not that you can just come and do, but the content which is provided has to be in a multiple format, and it also need to help them like that they will be able to learn anytime, anywhere, and as per the requirement.
Right.
And also we see that like it's a system that gives you easy to access, monitor and certify. So when a child start, it's very comfort, the UI or the interface of this portal itself is very easy for the child to go ahead and then do the course. And also like a learner can be monitored whether they are continuously completing it, at when they are completing, which percentage of how much completion has been done. So such monitoring is there, which can help us to follow up with them and then do. And by providing online courses through this SWAYAM portal, SWAYAM itself, it's an initiative to provide access to children to good quality learning experiences through expertise, available expertise which is available in various places. And it also emphasizes that to encourage the equity aspect of it, like everyone should have that kind of equal opportunity to learn, and also to provide a quality education. There are many places children don't have really a good teacher, access to a good teacher, sometimes not having an access to a good material. So that also hampers the quality of the education. So this SWAYAM is an initiative which is coming up to provide access, equity, and also to address the quality of education here. And it is not completely only emphasizing on online, it also gives opportunity for making a hybrid mode of delivery, where though the course content can be provided in that portal, and you can still have an online classes where you can call children, even if you can make some local chapters where you make the teacher as a responsible person for your students, where the teacher can follow it up, and if there is any doubt, the teacher can have an etc. class.
Yes.
So the initiative is not just to make everything online, it is but to make a kind of education that's more interesting and enriching. When you see this initiative, there are 9 national coordinators, and you can see here different coordinators who are there. Among them, like NCERT and NIOS are 2 national coordinators who are providing the courses for school children, school level. So NCERT is offering courses from class 9 to 12, and NIOS offers course for those students who are registered with NIOS for open schooling. So these 2 national coordinators are allotted for handling the courses for students. And as I very clearly said, as part of this initiative, which we wanted to translate what is written in the NEP into action, one of the things which NCERT is offering is, NCERT is offering 28 courses for class 11 and 12 across 11 subjects. And in a year, there are 2 cycles basically, like every April to September there is a cycle, and every October to March again there is a cycle. So it's like every 6 months you will have a cycle. So April and October the new courses are opened always. So that's how this initiative is implemented, and who can join, like student, teachers, parents, and anyone can join this.
Right. It's a wonderful initiative, SWAYAM. I mean, you talked about different institutions that are contributing in it. When we talk about online classes, then of course it's open for all, accessible. You mentioned certain benefits also. And I think affordability, flexibility, upgrading yourself technologically, these are very important skills that one should possess in today's day and time. And because now I'm really excited to know more about the courses, so I request you to kindly elaborate on the courses that are available for students out there.
Okay. So if you see, like for NCERT courses, like we have, as I said, we are having 28 courses across 11 subjects. If somebody would like to see where I can get the details, like to know, even if you wanted to know what courses are available. So you can always go to CIET website, and under the initiative session, you can see MOOCs on SWAYAM is written. So you can click on this. When you click on this, you will get a page where you can see the details of all the subjects in which the courses are offered. For class 11, the courses are offered in accountancy, biology, business studies, chemistry, economics, geography, mathematics, physics, psychology, and sociology. For class 12, the subjects in which the courses are offered are listed here: biology, business studies, chemistry, economics, English, geography, mathematics, physics, and psychology. So these are the subjects in which NCERT is offering the course. And you can see, like there are 11 courses, that's of 11 subject and 28 courses offered.
Absolutely wonderful. There's a wide variety that you can get on SWAYAM when it comes to NCERT. And now let's talk about the highlight of these courses. What do these courses contain? Why are so relevant and I mean so attractive for students?
Okay. So if you see these courses, when you see the course, like if you can see what every course will have content. Basically, all the courses are divided into modules. And each module will be having content which is called as like e-tutorial. Basically, e-tutorial we have given in the form of a video. Why we have given in the form of a video is, in a classroom the teacher interacts to the student by presenting the content and delivering the content and sharing their knowledge.
Right.
So this e-tutorial basically provides the knowledge to you and provides the content to you, and it is in the form of a video, so which you can watch over and try to understand from the presenter or from the module developer itself. And the second component in the course is on the different e-content. When we say different e-content, like this is more for a self-learning purpose. As a child, you wanted to learn more. There is already a textbook. You are already going through the textbooks and you are learning a lot. But why do you go for additional coaching centers?
Yes.
You wanted to listen more. You
Yes.
wanted to go through
Gain
more,
more.
deeper. You wanted to read on the same text, little more additional resource, or maybe the same content in multiple forms,
Right.
so that you will be able to have a better understanding.
Understanding of the
So
concept.
similar to that, this e-content provides you the resources that will enrich. It's more like for you to content learning enrichment content in this. So this can be in a form of text, which is in a PDF form. Sometimes it can be in the form of ebook. Sometimes it could be an illustration itself, like certain things to be illustrated, and sometimes it can include some web resources where you can extend your knowledge by going through and learning about it. For example, in a max class, we will, most of the time the teachers would be interested using some mathematicians.
Yes.
So they'll say like, this mathematician has done this, but there will be a curiosity in a child's mind. How did he do? Even I would like to become a mathematician like him. But most of the time we don't have the time in the classroom to study on that.
Yes.
So in such cases, like an extended learning resource where some of the web links that talks about the mathematicians can be given. Sometimes the children always wanted to have some extra workout, additional sums to be worked out. Where can they just, you can so give a worksheet as a e-content that a child can work out more questions other than the textbook. So there is possibility of giving a lot of resource for what you say, like for self-learning, which could be given as part of the e-content aspects. And we also have as part of the course every module, because when a child is progressing in the learning, we feel like a child has to be given a space to try to check themselves whether I have learned this. So at the every end of every module, there is a assessment, which is a formative assessment for themselves to check whether what knowledge I have gained in this particular module. Have I learnt it?
Yeah.
So whether I could like really show myself, check myself that whether I could gain this knowledge. So sometimes this formative assessments are in terms of objective type questions. Sometimes all knowledge cannot be just tested with that objective type.
That's right.
So there is possibility that there are assignments as well, where you may have to solve a problem, upload your sheet. Sometimes you may need to type an essay and then submit it. Sometimes you may need to do something on your own, like you do an experiment, like in science when they teach about some experiments, they may also say with the low cost material at home, try this, write your reflections and report it here. That way also it is possible.
Yes.
So that is one another possibility that like in the e-content, which has to be included as for self-learning part of it. So this gives like scope for both the children. See, the e-tutorial is basically made with the basic content which has to go as a resource. And when these e-resources are given, it addresses the needs of several children. So we can even tell that like a sample child, like 2, 3, like one question which is having at a lower level of achievement, like lower level of difficulty.
True.
There can be a question which is of
Certain higher level.
Higher level. So when we give a mixture of such content, it can be used by children of that level.
Yes.
If I try for not able to make up the higher level, then I can try my level best to do the lower level. At least I can check where do I stand.
Yes.
So that is the second quadrant we call it. In SWAYAM portal we call it a 4-quadrant approach. So there are 4 parts to it. The first part is the e-tutorial and you can have videos for learning from there. And the second part is the e-content.
Right, these are very important quadrants, and because when we talk about these online courses, we'll also talk about getting an instant feedback. We also talk about repeatedly performing those exercises that are quite difficult for students, at the first instance. So you can practice as per your convenience, as per your requirement. You can get the assessment also, you can get the instant feedback also. So this way, these online courses offer a wide variety of things. And as ma'am told you that when you were talking about the history, because sometimes you want to talk about the author or the mathematician, and sometimes you want to learn about the origin of a concept. Sometimes teacher introduces that this concept was given by Indian mathematician, or it originated in so and so year. So you find this additional information there also, which cannot be discussed in a conventional classroom setup due to restrictions on time.
Very true. So it also helps you to integrate lot of things. This e-content gives you, like for example, today we are talking in NEP art integrated learning. And when we say like art integrated learning, there may be a artwork, like for example, they are learning about like projectiles, and you really want them to integrate an art and then just tell them to do. So there was one activity which is given like you make a rocket kind of with a paper and then check how, at what direction it goes, like when you angle it. So that itself is an art integrated, and because it's a child, have to do a really rocket that really flies when you put on a particular direction. So when that kind of an activity is given, there is a lot of scope to bring in such kind of things into learning process. So this e-content gives scope for including such kind of resources to the things. And as I thought, this assessment also, like sometimes this particular portal, SWAYAM portal, has options for having short answer questions, long answer questions, and very specifically like when you have this chemistry, mathematics kind of things where there is a lot of formulas, and physics where there is a lot of notations and all that. The portal also has options to conduct such kind of numeric equations based assessments. So that is where there is a lot of scope, the variety of assessments that can be used, and the children are given opportunity for checking themselves at the end of every module. Whether they have been able to understand and they have gained the knowledge in that module. And at the end also, like it's not sufficient, because the very important thing in online course is most of the time we enroll but we don't complete the course. If we question ourselves, maybe every year we join for at least 10-15 courses, hardly we would do one course at the end. And internationally also, the success rate of people completing an online course is very less. It's an it's like it's a very insignificant number, which is actually bringing the importance that what is stopping them to really complete a course. And there are lots of researches that have gone around, but one of the reason is, there are many other reasons, but one of the reason is the missing of the human touch. Because when I am in online, I am the owner of my learning. I have to take care of my learning. It's like high self-motivation is required, or somebody has to push you from behind.
And also you don't have face-to-face competition, like nobody sitting next to you competing with you and learning the same concept.
Usually in a classroom, when a child is not learning, at least teacher will come and pat at the back and say what happened. So, and sometimes I don't know, immediately I have a friend to turn back and just question. So these are some of the factors which was identified to be one of the factor that affects the completion rate, success rate. So when we see that these kind of portals nowadays give some options for it. So in SWAYAM as an initiative, it's also giving an opportunity that like you can have a live sessions in between. So it can be through any of the live interaction tools. But what NCERT is doing is, like when the courses are running, NCERT conducts live sessions through the PM eVIDYA TV channel. So where the children can watch in YouTube nor otherwise in the TV channel, they can also interact with the experts during the question answer session. So there is a live session given. Again here there is no face-to-face contact and one-to-one connect here. So there is also, like when the children have asked for like doubts, so one-to-one there is a teacher help there, like in the discussion forum as well. So where there is again, like when a question asked, when a student has a question, there is a teacher who is responding to them. So that is one of the reason what it is being done is now there is a concept called local chapters. So as part of the SWAYAM, like for example, when NCERT is running the course, across the country several students have joined. So maybe from your school, a teacher has taken an initiative ensuring that there are 80 children in 2 sections of my school. So we have registered all that 80 students to do this course. So, but we wanted to monitor our children's path, whether the children are doing this course or not. So that is where like the local chapter comes in, where we can provide access to that particular teacher to monitor the students of their schools. There is an initiative, there is a feature in this initiative, so that to give that personal touch. Whenever children has a doubt, that they can make a group there, meet themselves and discuss and all that. And also the other feature is the discussion forum, where a child can ask the question or teacher can put a question for discussion. It's not discussion only with the teacher, there is a discussion with peers. When peers discuss, they learn better from more than listening. So that is also enabled in this as a last part of it. And when the children are going through this kind of a variety of content, this enables their learning.
Right. And you know what you mentioned is something very important in the middle of the conversation only, that SWAYAM courses are not just meant for higher education. They started at that note only. So one of the questions that I have received on YouTube is that these courses are available for school students also. Like, you know, it is very important, the awareness to go and reach people, because somewhere people even don't know that these courses are there for the school students. But here in this discussion, why we are having this discussion at the first place, to make you aware that what exactly SWAYAM is, what exactly online courses are, and who all can join, how they can join. Of course, we will be answering that question in a while. But yes, these courses are available for for students pursuing higher education and also for students studying in school. Now,
many times higher education people are aware about SWAYAM because it is a credit transfer based courses for them, and it is integrated by the college itself, but very specifically schools. Since right now we don't have a credit transfer, people are not aware. So this particular session is being taken to just create awareness, and it is to tell everyone that school based courses are also available on SWAYAM. Right now it is available for class 11 and 12, but going ahead there will be more courses coming up on that.
Right. So apart from your regular school studies, if you want to do some additional courses, you can always do that. So it is not necessary to follow certain pattern of 5 subjects, studying 5 subjects at a time. Just go for additional subjects that you have a liking for, a passion for, and score them in those subjects, and you can make your career out of them also, because we have, as we discussed, 4 quadrants just now. You know, there is ample scope for you to have discussions, to have feedback, assessment and everything. You won't miss interpersonal touch as such, because SWAYAM or these online courses, they make utmost effort to provide you as much flexibility and convenience as possible. Now, the bigger question,
and it's one more thing I would like to add here, is it is not just for your additional courses.
Right.
As teachers, some teachers may be watching this particular session. We also recommend that these courses can be integrated into your regular classrooms, because you can tell the children to register in this course, and if you find, like if you're teaching a particular content today and that content is there as a module, as a video, you can tell the children to watch the video in the course and come back to the class next day for your discussion. And if there is a e-resource sometime, like you can just tell them to read it and come back for the discussion. Sometimes homework could be itself to go through the e-content. There are sometimes interactive resources. Today, what is homeworks being given to students? Many times it's like, write this, learn this question and come. Children are not really interested sometimes. So you can also use this course as one of your homework, like summer work or winter work. So there is lots of scope to integrate this into your regular teaching regularly, and we are seeing teachers using this as part of their regular classes. So there is more scope for you the way you wanted to think about it.
Absolutely. In fact, the emphasis is also laid down on blended learning. So this is the best way to go for it. And now the bigger question, you know, how to join these courses, who all can join, and what is the eligibility criteria? So kindly apprise us on that.
Sure. For joining this course, you don't need to have any eligibility. You need only an interest to learn.
Okay.
Right now, the courses are only in English, so you should be able to read and understand English. So the medium of instruction is English right now. So you can just do these courses. And how do you join this course? Where do you get the details of these courses? So as I said, you can just go to CIET website. If you are not remembering which bar to go or which tab to click, how much I should search, it's very simple. You go to a Google browser and just type CIET SWAYAM. Then also you will just land up in the direct page. Okay. Otherwise, if you are on SWAYAM CIT page where you wanted to search, you have to click on below, click on the menu called Initiatives, and you will see MOOCs on SWAYAM. And when you see here, every time the new course is released by NCERT, in the same page the links are given. These are the different subjects for which the courses are available. You can find out the dates, important dates. So you can see now the second cycle of this academic year has already started. It has started on October 16, 2024, and this course will be open for enrollment till March 1st. And already the courses are open, and the course will be closed by March 25th. So these are very important dates. So whenever a new course batch is starting, the dates will be changed here. So the only page where you need to be connected is this, where you can keep understanding and getting yourself. And the second thing is how to join. We have given a very quick overview here, but let me take you through a step-by-step process. But otherwise, you have a very quick overview here as well. So you don't need to go anywhere, just scroll down. You will have a list of subjects. So which subject you wanted to join, which course? Sometimes the children ask, what is this? You have written biology part 1, biology part 2. What does it mean? So biology textbook of class 11 is divided into two parts, and two separate courses are available for the first part and second part. Why? Because sometime when we put all the things as one course, children are not able to complete in that 6 months. Because in your school you are learning the whole book in 1 year, but if we put the so now what we have done is it's part 1 and part 2. So maybe when your year is starting, you can join in part 1. In the first cycle you complete part 1, and in the second cycle you can from March to September complete the part 1, October to November you can complete part 2. Or if you are very good at because it's not a whole content here, so if you would like to really go through it, both the parts you can join at a time and also do it by yourself. So whichever course you want to start, you have to just move your mouse. You can see here the mouse turns to be a hand. It means it is linked. You can just click on the course. So when you click on this course, you land up on this course. You can see till now 211 people have already joined the course. So how do you join? It's a very simple join button. When you click on join, it will ask you how do you want to join.
Right. And then you can watch on your screen only that you can sign in with your social account, and you can put your username there, you can create a password, and that is how you have to remember your login credentials, and you can continue.
So what we suggest is if you have a Gmail account or a Microsoft account, you can use this. Only if you don't have any of this, then create an account in the SWAYAM portal. So for example, now I'm going to use my SWAYAM account to log in. So I'm clicking on I'm going to use my Google account to log in. So I'm using my Gmail mail ID basically. So you can see this is my Gmail ID which I have logged in. I'm using it to log in here. So the moment, what is the password? It is your Gmail password. Okay, so I have already just logged in. So it is asking you, because when you log in for the first time, it will ask you to join. You can see whenever you log in, you will be asked to fill your profile. This is to give your basic details. So you need to give maybe I'm just typing my name as Angel, your phone number, you need to just type your mail ID. So I'm just giving my phone number.
Right.
Okay. and my mail ID is already there, and I'm just writing which age group do you belong to. So you need to select here which age group do you belong to. So you can just select that, and then like for example right now let me select like I belong to 20 to 30 years, or like I may be a school child, so I'm less than 13. So I can just give it like I'm less than 13, or sorry, let me give 13 to 20. So because it's for school. So class 11 and 12. So gender, I can just go and click like I'm female, and where are you residing, then I can click on India. Okay. So what is my pin code? So I'm just giving that I'm from NCRT, so I'm giving NCRT pin code. Which state you belong to. The moment I give pin code, it picks up my state and district automatically. What is my profession? Are you a student? Are you a teacher, faculty? You are employed. Maybe you are not a teacher, but still you are employed. Maybe you are a parent. Your parent is joining this course. Then you can also tell if you are employed, you can give employed, or you can simply give us like others. Like because you are not employed anywhere, but you are just a parent who wanted to go through what my child learns. So then you can give others. Right now I'm clicking on a student. What is your highest qualification? So you must be in like 11th and 12th. Basically if you see here, it shows the minimum as high school. Maybe can a child who is not completed a high school can do this? Yes. If you are willing to do a higher class course, you are willing to do it, but you can select your highest qualification as high school only.
As you said, interest is the only eligibility criteria.
So year of graduation, this is something very particular to state, but it is mandatory to fill it up. So we request you, like because this has been like we are taking it considered as for the school, you just click it like the last one as 20, the graduation year, the current year, whichever year you are applying, just give it as 2024. And academic bank credit is mandatory for every child who is registering here to create it. Without this, you will not be allowed to create. What is this academic bank of credit? This is a basically a unique number which is you are going to get it. So you can simply use it and register yourself. When you click on here, if you don't have, you can click on here, go to this website, because this will be future use for you also. And since I have already created my account, it is coming as my account. Otherwise, it was just a two-step for you to just go, and then like you can register and enter your academic credit, academic bank of credit. Like see, this is my account. Just okay. I have not right now logged in, right? So you need to enter your academic. You have three options here. If a child is of class 11 and 12, you can simply say I don't have a ABC ID, okay, and just click on this. It's closed. If you are in higher education and you still would like to join this course, you can just go I have an ABC ID and enter the ID. School students, we do not force you to create an account. You can directly say that I do not have an ABC ID. Okay, and part of SWAYAM local chapter, right now you will write it as no, because right now you are not. And what is the college state? So you need to write where do your school is. So if my school is in Delhi, I am going to write a school thing. And when I have to write my college name, it just says like you need to select a college name from here. Because for example, if I'm saying that CIET, okay, so it is not there at all. So you can just leave it. It will be asking for you. You can choose any one of this like. From here, because this is being ignored for the school student, because many times we get questions from participants like what I should choose. You choose any name right now, because it is not showing exactly for the students, but you can choose any one of this. We will ignore this particular thing for the student, and even the same with the university name. So these two things you can randomly pick up any data, and these are the mandatory things for you to just degree. You just write not applicable, department not applicable, and study year is like this is not for you, so you will write it as not applicable. So since it is mandatory for us to choose, I am randomly choosing this. Right. That's already chosen. So the moment you select the college, it will automatically pick up the university it has been affiliated. So you have to just randomly. So you need to write like I agree and I also agree, because there you need to read this and understand, but this is particularly terms and conditions that you need to be properly behaving and you have to read it, but however it is, just save this. The moment you save this, you are through with one-time account of you saving your profile, and your profile saved and you are in the course. Now you can see that in chapter 1 there are 2 modules, in chapter 2 there are 2 modules. So you can just go to one by one module, watch your resource, take up the content and go ahead and complete it. The last thing is like, how do you get certificate?
Yes, certification is extremely important.
Yeah.
Because you need to get rewards.
So when you are going to do this particular course, because you don't have a credit based transfer, we are providing from NCERT, we are providing 3 different certificates. One is a course completion certificate, one is a course participation certificate and course appreciation certificate. When will you get a course completion certificate? If you have gone through all the modules, and in every module, as I said, there are formative assessments. You should have completed all the formative assessments in all the modules, and you should have scored 50% in every module score. And at the end there will be a final assessment which NCERT will conduct. There you should have 60% you should have scored. Only if you have scored both of the things, you will get a completion certificate. If you have done any one of this, like you have only done the formative assessment, you didn't clear or participate in summative and you have completed only 50%, you will get a participation certificate. If you have not completed your modules or if you have not completed formative assessment, but you directly took only participation in the summative and scored 60% and above, then you will get a appreciation certificate. So this certificate is just to motivate that you are joining an extended effort of learning on the online portal through the online courses offered by NCERT. So be benefited out of this, join these courses. It's not only students, we see a lot of people who are preparing for their competitive exams and UPSC exams also join this course to do this, to learn from this. So you are all welcome to join these courses and do it and get benefited.
Absolutely. When a lot of effort has been put in designing these courses, you must take the advantage of it. Join them, as ma'am said, whether it's for competitive exams, for your own personal growth or your interest, or as a school student if you want to gain extra knowledge. Join these courses, score well and stay motivated, because these courses are designed for you, very cost effective, flexible, and you can do them as per your convenience and requirement. With that, it's time for me to wrap up today's session. It was a series on digital initiatives, and today we talked about MOOCs on SWAYAM for school education. For this entire wonderful conversation, for all the knowledge that we gained and information we learned, I would like to thank my expert, Dr. Angel. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for your contribution to the session. And now, viewers, this is me, Harpreet Kaur, wrapping up this session over here. But before I leave, let's take a look at the live schedule. Well, it contains the list of all the programs that you have been watching through the day and whatever you'll be watching henceforth. So in a short while from now, you will be watching our session Sahyog. The topic will be holistic development for student growth. This will be followed by our session on school leadership and development, and the topic will be shared with you shortly. Yes, the session is conducted by NCSL NIPA. And with that, it's a wrap. This is me, Harpreet Kaur, taking leave of you. Stay tuned for more educational programs. Namaskar.